Spring, a sky full of migrating birds. Wild, graceful, pure white snow geese with black-tipped wings from the warm Gulf shores of Texas and Louisiana, from Chesapeake Bay and North Carolina, winging their way north, bound for Alaska and the Yukon, Hudson Bay and Baffin Island. Also flying high over the Arctic tundra during the spring breakup in May is another bird. A sturdy, weather-beaten helicopter, carrying mail, equipment, and supplies, along with nature photographer John Bax, to a remote campsite at the mouth of the McConnell River, north of Churchill, on the western rim of Hudson Bay. Here, a group of students, professors, and their families from the University of Western Ontario make ready to study and record the nesting habits of the snow goose and other fascinating wildlife on the tundra. A routine, uneventful trip for the chopper, but for the geese that share the airspace, a longer trip, a more mysterious flight. Perched on rooftops, the students watch the birds and count them. Many fly on, heading farther north. Others will land nearby at the ancient nesting sites. Some days you can count more than 1,000 geese every hour. Because the warm season is so short here on the tundra, the snow geese and their neighbors arrive and begin nesting as soon as possible. John Bax also has no time to spare and begins filming the arrival of the snows. Soon after, in the waters nearby, he discovers old squaws, their spring courting rituals already underway. And then the trumpeted arrival of another neighbor, the sandhill crane, and a late mating pair of blue-phase, lesser snow geese, the ones we refer to as blue geese. And nearby, that hardy Arctic grouse, the willow ptarmigan, who usually winters over in the tundra. The snow-white males with their rust-colored necks, and the females still in their winter-white plumage, pecking at the rich vegetation. Signs of life are everywhere, it seems, on the spring tundra. As the end of May approaches, shrinking patches of ice contrast with swiftly moving water in the streams and lakes of the McConnell River Bird Sanctuary. What have we here? Checking out the territory. The snow bunting, the melodic snowbird. And then, the first signs of nesting snow geese in the colony. Suddenly, the guardian gander spots potential danger. The pirate of the tundra, the parasitic Jaeger. Aggressive, hawk-like birds. They attack the nest in an attempt to crack the eggs with their beaks and devour the contents. Often inexperienced, less aggressive geese are driven from the nest and return later to find the eggs destroyed, and no time left this season to re-nest and deliver another clutch of eggs. By the first week in June, the snow geese have laid most of their eggs, and John Bax follows a pair of student researchers as they comb the tundra for nest sites to measure, weigh, and mark several thousand eggs. The average clutch is 4 eggs, sometimes more. They try to disturb the nest as little as possible and cover the eggs again with warm goose down and leave quietly, not forgetting to mark the nest site. Almost as soon as they are out of sight, the female will settle down quickly and continue to incubate the eggs, keeping them warm and safe for about 3 weeks before they begin to hatch. At another nesting area in the colony, a mixed pair of snow and blue geese. A few days later, John catches sight of another neighbor, a red-throated loon. He pauses to watch. What is it about the mysterious, solitary loon that fascinates us so? What is its magic lure? But John must press on across the tundra. And soon after, he finds the site he's been looking for a special project. Near this pair of unsuspecting sandhill cranes, he intends to construct a blind and to film their nesting behavior in secrecy and silence, without disturbing them in any way. What's this? A small shorebird, unable to fly? No, it's all an act to lure intruders like us away from the nest. The semi-palmated plover. But John is patient. The bird begins to accept him, allowing him to come very close to the nest. An old friend, the female willow ptarmigan, nesting now in summer plumage, a master of camouflage and deception, blending easily with the surroundings. The male calls out to us, trying to attract our attention, again to lead us away from the nest. At home on the lake, awkward, even clumsy on land, this Arctic loon, like all loons, nests only a step or two from the water. Amazing how it turns the eggs during incubation to more evenly distribute its body heat. And then, another look at the red-throated loon, returning to its nest. While its mate swims nearby. By late June, the researchers return to the snow goose nest sites when the marked eggs are about to hatch, or are already starred or pipped from within. This time the students collect several nests and their contents and take them back to the campsite for further man-made incubation until hatching is complete and imprinting can begin. A day or so later, back at the camp, the first goslings are about to appear, breaking through the shells with their pointed egg tooth. Now, on the tundra, at the true nests, the goslings, once described as fragile balls of spun gold, take their place beside the parent. Soon after, the adult gets rid of the eggshells and their contents, not wanting to attract marauders, as the vulnerable goslings begin to wander away from the nest. At the campsite, the goslings have taken over, and without any apparent fear or confusion, walk among the giants, who they begin to accept as their real parents. Even this Labrador retriever. Thank goodness for a gentle, patient dog. Now John Bax sets off across the McConnell River Delta to discover how the other bird species are coming along. This is a critical time for the newly hatched chicks and goslings. If the weather changes suddenly, if it becomes extremely cold, or if there are violent storms, many may not survive. Fortunately, for all those who are about to get their feet wet, the good weather holds. There is sunshine and almost 24 hours a day of sunlight. However, on this particular morning, John walks into a surprising situation. A sudden, rather aggressive airborne assault by a trio of shrieking Arctic terns. There's probably no real danger here, more scare tactics than anything else, but John is confused. There has to be some reason for this unusual behavior. He discovers the reason. Small as it is, a young tern at his feet, almost hidden by the vegetation, There must be several Arctic tern nests nearby. All right. Okay, you win. I get the message. Now for a more pleasant surprise. A willow ptarmigan and her chicks, huddled together, well camouflaged. How about a walk around the tundra? Maybe we'll find some food, fresh grass, bog rosemary, flowering avens. There's the sandhill crane. No young in sight. But wait. Talk about getting your feet wet. Watch this crane chick. Swimming seems to come easy enough. The parents look for food. What's this? A nest full of young eider ducks. And here comes the female, flying back to the nest. And what a nest it is, lined with soft, luxurious eider down. Suddenly, a parasitic jaeger attacks the nest. Mother and chicks settle down. The jaeger flies off in search of easier prey. A blue goose nest with 3 goslings. They'll be ready to leave the nest in a few hours. A nesting Arctic loon, bothered by mosquitoes and black flies. Meanwhile, out on the water, 2 Arctic loons feed their young. Another hungry chick, a red-throated loon this time. The parent comes up with a gourmet meal, a choice fish fillet. Little on the large side, maybe. We'll see. The fish is so heavy, it pulls the loon chick's head down into the water, and the chick lets go. Now you've got the hang of it. Near the campsite, the imprinted goslings are also getting their feet wet, so to speak. Each day, for about 9 hours, the students take the goslings out on the tundra so they can eat the tender grass. The results of imprinting are always amazing to watch. It can happen when almost from the moment of birth or hatching, The young birds or animals have been fed and cared for not by their natural parents, but by humans. Since they know no other parents, they assume the humans are their real parents and follow them wherever they go. Amazing, too, to think that in 2 months' time, these goslings will be ready to migrate southward with the rest of the snow goose colony. One of the most thrilling sights in all North American migration watching occurs on the St. Lawrence River at Cap Tourmente, not far from Quebec City. Here, 100,000 greater snow geese, almost the entire Atlantic migration, stop over for 6 weeks in September and October. Winter is in the wind. The snow geese take to the air, continuing down the flyway to American coastal wetlands and marshes. And once again, the sky is filled with these majestic birds of the Arctic tundra.